interesting thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Film. Community, heart,
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Nothing But the Facts. We're back at you. You know how we do. It's your man Franklyn G, F to the Jizzle, student Verily or worse. You know, we do these podcasts and try to keep you up to date with what's going on. Sitting here with the trio of brothers, as you know. Again, Lordland Films, Crazy D, and the place to be. Pointing at you. And you know, CeeMo, our man, intergenerational, keeps us going, keeps us letting know what the independent vein is. And you know, that's how we do it on the podcast we like to call Nothing But the Facts.
Yes.
So where we at? What do we kick first, or who do we uncover first?
Well, let's talk about how now people are potential to see us in 20.9 million households because
20.9 million?
That's right, 20.9 million households.
No, we ain't good with big numbers like that.
You know, that means that they are potential to see us because, you know, YouTube just joined Cox Cable.
Bingo.
Cox Cable is the third largest cable provider in the United States.
That's what's yum.
And guess what? Lordland Films and Filmmaker Client A page are both on YouTube. So all you have to do is just go to your contour on your remote, click that, go to apps, go to the YouTube icon, click that, then search Lordland Films or Filmmaker Client A page, and you'll be able to see the work that we do, which includes this, Nothing But the Facts.
Yep.
Also, we got more of everything media, man, where no one's got us like us, the
name.
Platform for the independent. You like that name, Franklyn?
I like that name.
Thank you, man. I thought it was pretty unique and original, you know what I'm saying?
Featuring
more of
the
everything.
Featuring the dope hangouts.
Yes, of course, featuring the Dope Hangout segment where we bring independent artists, give them a platform, have them talk about what they do, and that'll be like their training grounds for future interviews, and we play trivia games and just do dope shit like that, man. We kick it, man. That's what it is.
And we teach you how to market and promote, because when you're your own independent, you have to have marketing dollars and promotion dollars to come on to shows like these. And of course, we have Franklyn G here, who has Like It Is Radio.
Oh yeah.
And
The Breakdown.
Watch the
that's
breakdown.
right. That's on
Like It Is Radio and The Breakdown. Both are on KCEP FM, Las Vegas's very own public broadcasting. You know how we do it. Trying to keep it in the village for over 40 years. Power 88 has been just the voice for the black community.
Shout to Power 88,
it's
man.
part of the fabric. You know, the drum. We gonna beat it up. Beat it up.
So we have provided you a way to many different platforms
See us.
within network to
interact with
get your signal pushed across the platforms that we provide for the independent artists, the independent new thought leaders,
All right.
as well as established thought leaders,
All right.
and to get your opinion across to the masses. So give us a call. Look us up on Lordland Films, and all the connections are there to get in contact with us, and then we'll go from there. So let's kick
Catch
this
us
off.
at KCEP too. You know, you can hit us in Vegas. You know, if you're coming through, you want to do something.
Let's do it.
Got a project going on. We want to be there. We want to cover it. We want to let you know how you can get it on the biggest black radio station in the entire state, while they can play our music. I ain't even gonna talk about they can't play
And then you
us.
can hear Franklyn G globally by going to kcep.radio.net
and
listening to
Power88LV.com too.
That's right, and listening to the shows
And the app.
worldwide.
Don't forget about the app.
Don't forget
But I
about
got
the app.
friends all over this country, so when we got to start figuring out what some markets are, because I can tell them how can they find us, because I know we got Vegas locked down. We already got Vegas, but I'm from New York.
Virginia is in the Cox line.
I got family in Virginia. Every black person does.
So stay tuned for that, because you know YouTube is making a big push, which means that the independent program channels are making a great push. And what separates us apart from many of the others that you might find is the sound quality is A1, and The picture is cinema quality, 4K. You can't beat that anywhere else. When you go from cable to the internet connection through Cox Cable, the pictures are the same. The quality is the same. So that's what you want right here. Lordland Films and filmmaker client A page. Yours truly crazy.
Man. What is that filmmaker client?
That's Lordland Films,
right?
Yep.
And filmmaker client A page on YouTube, now showing in 20.9 million households across America.
Like Michael Jackson numbers, right? Prince numbers.
So,
I guess they on the same channel now, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Hard work pays off.
No, they both dead. They both on the dope beat channel.
Oh, here we go again about dope. We keep on telling you, the entertainers. You see how Kanye said that.
Segue.
See,
dope entertainers.
You see how Kanye said that the black community let him down when he was having his opiate addiction problem. But you know who was there for him?
Trump.
The alt-right. They were there for him. Make America great again. He was sitting there having dinner with Ivanka Trump, talking about his new video with Phoenix, and now Phoenix is playing the Phoenix in his new production coming out soon. They had his back, and they treated him as if he was a white man and not a black man with a crack addiction, would have found you in prison. They treated him like he was a white man because opiate and crack, even though it's addiction and people rob, steal, kill, they are treating it differently than they treated crack. They say because it's a white man's problem, a white woman's problem.
Hey, they have insurance, that's why.
No, they say, hey, we have to help ourselves. But when it came to blacks, lock them up, murder them in the streets. Lock them up, murder them in the streets.
Well, I ain't speaking on the tither because I ain't got nothing for him. Never did.
That's the crazy thing about Kanye, man. When people go left, Kanye goes right. Pun intended, like you said, Crazy D. So him doing this, especially on Twitter, him showing his support for Donald Trump. And did he really have dinner with Ivanka?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he told the story. But actually, it was Charlemagne who told the story about him going to dinner with Ivanka. And then
that
Phoenix
interview's out?
No, he was talking about the interview was coming.
Okay.
But he just gave an example of how they were sitting there having dinner, and the woman named Phoenix. No, it was the woman named Phoenix. She was on a talk show, and she talked about it. And she talked about how they were sitting there having dinner with Ivanka, and how he was telling her plans to say, I'm trying to figure out who I'll get to play the Phoenix. And she said, why don't you get Phoenix to play the Phoenix? And that's how she got to be the Phoenix in his new production. Sure it was. It was Phoenix. They talked about the Phoenix in his new production.
Phoenix and the Phoenix.
Yeah, there it is. And we all know that the Phoenix rises from the ashes. So it's Kanye saying that he's a Phoenix and he's rising from the black ashes to come into the white utopia.
A lot of black people would say that he needs to rise from the sunken place. A lot of black people would say that.
I just say let him burn.
So did they use the teacup?
You know,
were they stirring it?
What's her name? Kris Jenner she already spun that teacup on him, man. She said, you're gonna marry my daughter, but you're gonna be a Kardashian, and this is it. But I honestly think it's a big public stunt, man. He's got an album coming out.
For sure.
This is a public stunt, man. That's about it. Yeah, one with Cudi, a collab album, and then a solo album, and then probably something else after that. But I think it's a big public stunt, man, because he started all of a sudden walking around with the Make America Great Again after announcing his albums, man, tweeting about Trump, getting retweeting the retweet. That's it, man. Social media stuff, man.
Nah, forget about that guy. Remember he was with Trump on Inauguration Day downstairs.
Yeah, last year.
Like a little buck boy. Come on. Let's take a picture with you.
It was a risk.
Claiming to talk about multicultural issues in Chicago.
You had to shut him down.
He even talked down on Obama. He said Obama was in office 8 years, didn't do nothing for Chicago. He thinks Trump can do something for Chicago. He thinks he could work together with him.
Speaking, let's veer off of that. Did Obama do anything for Chicago?
Shit.
You from Chicago?
No.
Did
Yeah,
he?
that's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what
But
he did in Chicago.
Did he do anything?
Sure, he changed the image of a black man for the 8 years that he ran. And that legacy will hopefully manifest in some youngster who visualized himself much like him. Other than that, no. Because Rahm Emanuel went there and killed the city. But is he killing the city or like here? Progress. All of those places that were once abandoned during Obama's tenure are now coming back. So did he prepare us for gentrification, even though he cut all the schools out tomorrow? The mayor was supposed to do these things for economics, but the city seems to be rebounding. So is that progress? Isn't that the progress we want? A better city? Regardless if it's abstract of class or color? If you can afford to live there, you belong there.
Is that what it is?
Rent's too damn high.
As long as you can afford to live there,
Yeah,
You
you can
belong.
live there.
that's what it should be.
It's called.
Economic segregation.
Yeah, didn't they call it the red zone? Is where we stay, the minorities, man. We stuck in a loop of debt and high bills, man. We can't get out.
Well, that's the report. What's your boy always would cite? Brian Harris, what's up, man? We know you do a lot of things. You want to get down with us? You got to figure out how.
Yeah, bring
about
Brian through, man. Bring Brian Harris.
2053.
Right, all blacks will be broke.
blacks will be flat-lined as far as wealth is concerned. 0%.
Shit.
Well, y'all got to get the hell up out of here then.
Shit.
You're bringing down my value.
I'm broke now, man. Shit.
Oh, I'm no longer black.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm fitting into my man's thing. He said I was white, right? What's that guy? You gotta. Well, hey, we gotta get him on here. What's his name?
What is his
The
name?
Black Republican
He's
dude.
so
Nevada.
he's so insignificant. At
I
this
know, but
point.
still, we gotta. What's it? Sam something? No, what's his name? Sherman Ray, alias Urkel. But we wanna get you on here. We wanna do your show. We want you to come do our show because he's the one that says the new wave for blacks. There's a new black wave Republican. Okay. good.
What about that? What about that? Because Chance the Rapper chimed in after Kanye said what he said on Twitter and said that black people should. Yeah, I'm not saying exactly what he said, but black people don't necessarily have to vote Democrat.
No, you don't have to.
So what is the alternative for us out here? Do we start our own black party?
Why does it have to be a black party? I think that unfortunately the way things are now, you gotta have consciousness, and that consciousness is because a lot of black people still ain't woke. And awoke means what your interests are, whether it's the things that are being marginalized or undervalued, health care, gay rights, falls into black rights, falls into civil rights, as long as it's somebody's rights. So you gotta have multicultural now, man. It can't just there's not enough Negroes to win unless they're all smart enough to only have one candidate and have 7 white people running.
When they talk about multicultural, it seems to never include, except for maybe 1 or 2 of us.
But is that whose fault is that? Our fault, because we're not there. We're not ready.
I remember when they first started multiculturalism, because I was involved in an organization called It's Your Move. It was the organization of Christians and Jews. They made a thing. I graduated from Catholic school, and I was in there talking about we need to have Black History Month and all predominantly Polish.
Put your hand out.
Predominantly Polish high school that I went to. And for some reason, I was the one that needed sensitivity training, so they sent me to the It's Your Move. So we went there, and in the end, everybody was applauding and saying, we can see things happening big for what you're doing. I say, I'm not a politician. However, once the multiculturalism started, all of a sudden, gradually, we started finding ourselves out.
No, the system forced us out.
Okay,
System forced us
so
out.
it's not our fault. It's the system's fault.
Because we didn't support those programs. How many black kids are in black studies classes right now?
No, this wasn't a black studies
But that's what I mean.
class.
When they had particularly black studies in the school before it became multicultural or women's cultural, this, whatever, they had black studies courses that when we were at the peak, into which a good segue into after this one, the highest numbers of African Americans in college happened when? Okay.
In the 90s. Well, starting in the 80s and then 90s.
We'll
okay.
talk about that.
We'll talk about this
We'll
guy.
talk about this guy.
We'll talk about Bill.
We'll talk about Bill in a minute. I got Bill. Look.
You got little Bill.
Some say Big Bill. Anyway, Pill Bill. But anyway, no. When blacks were going to college, blacks were not taking those courses. In the larger institutions where it had great teachers, even at Harvard, at Yale, or these like Skip Gates, and even Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and Baba Small, James Smalls, Dr. Scobie, Dr. Betty Shabazz. Even at City College, those classes were during the day. They were not during the day, they were at night, because adults were taking them, the students were taking them. So Black Studies programs, due to the lack of participation of Black students, got eroded away in the financial arena. If they could have a class on women's issues, that could fill that class. So that's space, that's registration, that's money, that's books. If your Black Studies class can hold 20 and you only get 6,
Very true.
that's what happened. So we did that to ourselves.
That would be
Yeah,
true.
because I could say personally, I didn't try to take a class with African studies. I tended to just avoid it, go to another type of thing. Not avoid it on purpose, but I just wasn't thinking about it at the time. Just wasn't thinking about it.
And the most successful program, which was at the City College of New York, which is one of the bigger colleges, just so you would know that, it's what they would call, it's an all-day college. They have regular students, and then there's a whole program at night. These programs at night were geared towards adults. And that's when I took these classes with Leonard Jeffries, Scobie, Dr. Betty Shabazz, Professor Small, and they had people come in and speak like Dr. Ben or Dr. Clark, who was still alive at the time. So we weren't filling those classes, so we lost out due to the competitive nature of classroom space on a college campus. They are business, they want to make money.
You know, it's like Cleveland State at the time, back in the 90s. We had an African American Cultural Center, and kids would come to the UC Cage on Monday. And there was only a small percentage of Black students that would be in the African American Cultural Center. Everyone else
What did
were
it become?
just what you would be. They would just sit in the cage and want to kick it and talk about what they did over the weekend instead of coming in and getting some of the knowledge that was there. They had a large board with all the whole African continent and every country and every province and everything broke down right there. No one would ever come in and, you know, it's really, I mean, no one would ever come in, but the larger numbers of African American students would not pass it by as if it was the plague or something. But it was many the African American, the organization African American Unity, which I was a part of, planned a lot of different things and planned strategic sit-ins and things like that, and student
but student Black
disobedience,
participation,
right? And
still low.
It was low, but it helped them in the long run. It helped the students in the long run.
Oh, by the experience of it.
You know, not by the experience of it. The larger population of the Black students who did not participate, they got pushed along, and it helped along because it was only a small number of people actually fighting the power, but they advanced from it, and they don't even know why they got what they got. And that's pretty much the civil rights movement.
Oh, I don't know.
Right?
That.
I mean,
stuff, but they
it was
how
only
they struggled for it.
what did Martin Luther King? He only had 10 core, and then the other people who came out, they said we have food, and they would serve the food after the speeches. They would pack a church that had only held 150, and they would have 300 people there. They promised them food. They would feed them after the speeches.
Right.
So and then those people, some galvanized and went out and became the bodies. Women that came out that were the bodies that went out there who sacrificed. But the majority of African American people were not out there fighting the cause.
No, not towards the end of his life, but you know,
not even then, because he was fighting Southern. We still had the Northern side, and people were like, well, we went up here to get good jobs. It's okay for us. It was the illusion. It was the illusion of inclusion.
For sure, Dr. Jeffries.
Right?
Jeffries' phrase.
So, you know, so with swinging back to Kanye, is Kanye in the illusion of inclusion?
In his own mind,
or is he causing illusion? And when those albums come out, it's going to be something totally different that the alt-right didn't believe they would hear.
It's like an illusion, man. Suck in place, man. He's out of here.
So then let's take up Bill Cosby, or you call him Pill. I still choose not to believe it, but let's take up Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was out there in the 90s, late 90s,
segue because we were talking about college.
Right.
Highest college,
No.
highest African American college registration was during the Cosby era.
During the Cosby era. But then, somewhere, ratchetness came in.
Ratchetness was there all the time.
But it came in and came into the forefront. And I think what during that time in the late 90s, he sat on a panel with Newt Gingrich and some other conservative-minded people, such like what Kanye West is doing right now.
Reading my notes I have on the back of this thing.
Right? He set up and went around the country on the Correct Yourself tour, or
I'm thinking
like
compare
that.
Kanye to
Easy.
Bill Cosby. Come on, Kanye, come on, he's stretching there.
And I'm not stretching. I mean, look,
Stretch with Kanye, no.
he's an entertainer. All Bill Cosby was an entertainer.
No, a little bit more than that. Groundbreaking entertainer.
And Kanye West,
How so?
in his generation,
Yeah, in the
with
hip
College
hop culture,
Dropout,
he
was
did
a
make it.
groundbreaking entertainer.
Didn't change any philosophies or ideas. Bill Cosby did.
And what are the parallels with him and Bill Cosby? There's an old video where Bill Cosby was talking about how black people were oppressed by the system.
Put Bill right here. Bill's sitting right here with us.
And in the late 90s, he started talking about how people should have personal responsibility for what they do.
They always
Pull
do.
your pants up.
That's right.
Stop playing the music.
That's right.
But he sat there saying that
Judgmental
with
soul?
Newt Gingrich. It's all right for us to have a conversation amongst ourselves.
No,
But
publicly.
when you bring it out amongst people who are traditionally not your friend, more of your adversary, your enemy, that seems to make people feel that you're selling out. And this is the problem with
Kanye's
Bill
the biggest
Cosby.
sellout, man.
Is he?
He talks about helping the poor, $1,000 shirts.
Yeah, man.
Stop right there. He talks about helping the poor. He could give bad money away. Has he? Bill Cosby gave the HBCU circuit $1 million.
How do we know that he hasn't? Before
Because he would have talked about it if he did, because he's that kind of motherfucker.
I think Kanye was groundbreaking in the sense of as well as being an entrepreneur, as just stepping outside of your box, not just as a rapper. Now he wants to be the fashion designer. He doesn't want to be
Fashion
owned.
sucks. You know that didn't catch. Did his fashion
he doesn't
catch?
want to be owned.
Would you wear his stuff?
I never bought a pair of Yeezys, but I see him everywhere. I see him
They
everywhere.
say it's
He's
quality.
made a lot of money.
He said
Would you
Yeezys
buy
are
that?
He
quality,
said he didn't
though.
want to be owned specifically a long time
But he
ago.
wants you to
just wanted
spend
be a
thousands of
partner.
dollars. Then his shoe should be 50 cents.
Yeah, he did explain that if it was up to him, it would be cheaper. But because he doesn't have that knowledge, he has to team up with Adidas and do this, and this.
Nah, Kanye's faking.
You know
Bill
what?
Cosby has created programming in the illusion of himself. Not to say he was the best comedian, but his comedy was more of an adult humor. It was more of a what happened with this humor. Relationships, not even black humor, it was relationship humor about being a parent, about being a struggling young African American. And he made a great couple of documentary series on CBS back in the day. He did one on black people talking about, showed how they image, how our psychology and the images that we have were created by white men. Even as you see here with Fat Albert, this little Fat Albert dog, collect your black history, y'all. Every week we're gonna have some black history for y'all. Collect your little things, because other people will now say, ooh, how'd you get that? But the bottom line is, he created black comic books. Y'all Black Panthered out. You Wakanda, he was Wakanda when it was ghetto. Remember ghetto? Ghetto. They had fun in the ghetto. Kanye ain't making no cartoons. He's dating a white woman, making biracial children, diluting his own self.
You know what's crazy about Kanye?
Everything.
What if, hypothetically, what if this was all a gimmick? He can infiltrate the White House and take over. I'm serious. He can infiltrate. Not take over the world type thing. Not overrun the presidency type thing. He can't do that. It's impossible. But what if he's infiltrating to get knowledge and to get different things that he could use against Trump, or in the future use against a bad politician? He could be infiltrating to do that.
Because he did say he was going to run in 2020.
Yeah, he also said he was Jesus. He also said he was better than the Beatles. Come on, he said he was Bill Gates
Shout
and
out to
shit.
Jesus.
Come on,
Why?
man.
Well, what's wrong with him saying that he's better than the Beatles?
He's not better than the
Who are the
Beatles. That's
Beatles?
first off, he's not better than the Beatles. I'm not a Beatles fan, but he's not better than the Beatles. Simply because what they did was recreate something, right? They took black sound and made it white appealing. He's doing the same thing, taking black sounds and making them white appealing. He's copying off what the Beatles have done. Reverse.
No, because
his songs, he takes other
he's a
people's songs.
true artist, and Quincy Jones said that the Beatles couldn't play a lick when he went in the studio with them. They were some of the worst musicians he
That's
had
probably
ever
because they was all
heard.
doped out
So
and high.
that means that the producers is what made them sound the way they sound, but really they were horrible. But Kanye is truly an artist. What he produces comes out sonically, it pounds sonically, it sounds appealing to the masses of people.
To the youth.
No, to the masses of people. You can always get a Kanye song that crosses age.
I would tell you
barriers.
this.
I know you
If
bump
the-
All Falls Down, man, when you in the car, man. You bumping the All Falls Down.
I'm with you.
man.
The Beatles, if they were still alive, would sell out everywhere they went. At whatever, 90 years old. At 90
They
years
still
old.
are. Zumanity.
And 90 years old, Kanye will be a flitter. He'll be like Eminem. He'll be like the rest of them. No offense. It's just music is the genre in which this music lives in currently. And while he may be able to create based on other people's music and add a different spin to it, and I appreciate that, he's a freaking musician, man. I don't want him setting no tones. Play your songs and shut the hell up.
I believe. Oh,
interesting.
word!
Interesting.
I believe as far as Jay-Z goes, as long as Jay-Z goes, Kanye West is gonna go.
Well, the
They
same
found the
same
fountain
thing.
of youth.
Same thing. And even with
Found the
Jay-Z,
fountain of
hey,
youth.
what's her name just gave another $100,000 to some other.
Beyonce?
Yeah.
HBCU,
So,
yeah.
like I said, what's his name? Tither? Tit
Yeah,
out.
Kanye.
Tit out. Put some money down, and I know you probably have, but let it be known. And if you got billions, you could come do a concert for an HBCU if you're so black. But don't get me wrong, if your man Trump wants to release some of those funds that he has with Voorhees or whatever the lady's name who's the school secretary who's now cutting money from the cripple kids, you know we in trouble. If they cutting the cripple kid money, black people ain't getting no money. So don't get me wrong, Tither, sing your songs, make your biracial babies, and have fun with that little sex toy that you got.
Tither?
Yeah, Kanye Tither, the Tither.
Yeah, Kanye to the
See,
west.
that was I was an early Tully fan. I would call him Tither.
Okay.
But you know what, too? I don't know if it was 2016 or last year. I can't remember. There was a time in Kanye's career where he blasted about being broke, and he blasted about he needs some money. Who was he asking for money? He was asking somebody for money.
Right when the company was going to fail.
And he was like, he never wrote me back when I asked for some money type thing. There was some time he didn't have no money.
Let's talk about our
He's
real
just
guest
broke.
right here.
No. Wait. You said that Kanye West is married, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And he's making these interracial babies,
This is correct.
right? Is there anything wrong with
Not
being
at all.
interracial?
No, not at all. That's what you should continue to do. Continue to make them.
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay. So we're going parallels between him and Bill Cosby because remember, he's an entertainer and so is Kanye West. And for some reason in this society, we look to entertainers.
No, we're giving entertainers.
No, okay. Well, however it is, the masses look at entertainers and value what entertainers have to say. Which entertainers are people too who pay taxes, who go through the same things that everyone else goes through.
No.
So thus they do have an opinion on things. And their opinion because they've traveled more than maybe the average. So their opinions on world issues do have some value. Would you agree with that?
Disagree.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree. Okay, so
I give
parallel.
they're afforded a platform to have say in front of us, and because they're familiar faces that we may see, they think they're giving us something. But I would ask you, even any other president outside of Trump, he ain't calling Fox and Friends or Hannity for no advice. They're not calling entertainers for no advice. No entertainer, none. Only this White House.
Well, that's not true because Obama had Common.
Singing for him.
No. They set and had them set up the platform for.
Singing.
No.
Come sing
That's
a
not
song.
true. That's not true. When the police brutality was happening. He had Common, he had Janelle Monáe. They talk about it, and they were sitting there and coming up with the platform that he would roll out concerning that. So he did listen to entertainers. So that is not necessarily true.
Where are those programs?
Hey, I didn't say that they. I didn't say that Obama was. Hey, that's part of the problem. Why Obama's legacy is
that's not legacy.
A couple of asterisks next to it concerning black issues. But we're talking about parallel between.
He brought them to sing to bring out people. Don't get me wrong. You ever been in a house when you pour your bowl of cereal and there's no milk? What do? You got to put the cereal back in there. You put some milk on it. Put some water on it. That's all he did. You put something back in the box with some water in it. Still no milk. The bottom line is these guys are entertainers. Barbara Streisand comes and sings. She sings for AIDS, makes millions of dollars, give them the money. She has she's afforded a platform for this. Same thing Elton John or any of these guys. When it comes to black issues, even Beyonce and them, they can come to protest. They don't come to protest.
It's a candle in the wind.
I ain't messing with Elton.
But anyway, look.
Elton's the man.
Can I get to my point?
Go ahead. Benny and the Jets.
Parallel. Yeah, you would like Benny and
the
Jets.
The wind and the wonderful.
Moms don't know about
She's
that.
got electric boots. A mohair suit. You know I read it in a magazine.
Oh shit.
Benny and the Jets.
Welcome to the karaoke version of Nothing But the Facts.
That's a bad song.
Hey, what's Mary's lyrics to that song? Wait. All right. So let's go. Do we have to pay royalties on that?
Less than 40 seconds.
It's 2 bars. Okay.
No, that's 2 bars.
Okay, let's see. So we have Kanye West and we have Bill Cosby. You said Kanye West married and is having at least Kanye West married the white hoes that he's with.
Bill couldn't have married 200 women.
But Bill Cosby was out there drugging them by what they say, doing it, and at the same time telling people the politics of personal responsibility and pull your pants up. Don't be ratchet outdoors. Be ratchet behind the door and come out and have a fake facade up front. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Is that what we want as a people, or do we want it to just be real out there? How do we want it?
Carry your own pills. Don't take pills from friends.
No, so what you're saying
friends
is...
don't give friends pills.
So we should be behind closed doors with the ratchetness.
No, there's no place for ratchetness.
To be.
There's no place for ratchetness. And ratchetness is outdoorsy. When you're in your house, that's how you live. You know? Like Bill. Bill gave them pills because that's how he lived. We heard earlier, we started talking about Bill and a young lady who will remain nameless, just played one of his comedy routines spontaneously in the room where we were dialoguing about how he wanted Spanish fly. Well, don't get me wrong. It's from that time period. That's what he said was cool. I never know how to get any. But the reality is, he was just recently found guilty on 3 counts of sexual lewdness and inducing lewdness and being a fucking perv.
Yeah, drugging, molesting.
62 women charges, the Me Too thing, and it took 2 court cases. And now the question is, they're gonna sentence Pill. We're waiting right now. They sent him home. A little courtesy after he was found guilty. He could have been remanded to jail, but they let Pill go home. And I texted you guys yesterday. I think Pill may take the Roman way out, like a senator. He may not make it. You know, he may have to sit in the tub and hot water. You know how the Roman senators used to do it.
I think he's going to stick it out and not do anything, but do.
He appealed already, right?
Yeah, he's going to appeal.
But he got to do some time if he's.
I want to know the rant. I would like to see the rant. They were covering everything else in the courtroom. I would like to hear his rant.
At the end, he called the guy an asshole?
I would like to see the whole rant that he pitched the rant in the courtroom after the judgment came down. I would like
to be on HBO or Showtime or TBS when they do the miniseries. It's a miniseries coming out of that guy.
Of course.
Because the ticket is, where's his wife? We ain't seen her, you know, she only came to court one day, so that's sad too.
Yeah.
It's all bad on her, you know. They just lost a child. But
I had someone have an interesting take on it and said that she was probably in on it.
Who, the wife?
Yeah.
How's she gonna be in? Unless going back to Prince, she was getting the pills for him. Because we know Prince's bodyguards was getting pills for him. We know Michael Jackson had a fake doctor doing stuff for him. That's people's name. So maybe she was getting pills for him. Unbeknownst to her, he was using them to get women.
Is it possible for Bill Cosby to have been doing? I'm just taking the take that the person said. Is it possible for Bill Cosby to have been doing that and his wife not know anything?
Sure, it's easy.
I don't think so.
He's giving her pills too. He's knocking the whole house out. Everybody knocked out. Drink this Kool-Aid, Jim Jones. But the reality is he traveled a lot, and they had two separate lives. She was raising children, he was raising a career in entertainment.
I'm sure she had to know about some of the things he was doing
It's
with the
the
other
infidelity,
women.
but I don't know if he knew about drugging somebody,
Yeah.
Because she had to hear. These stories probably been around for a long time. He was so powerful, nobody said anything.
I'm sure people called her house and told her. Of course they did. They called Coretta Scott King when.
Well, they taped Coretta.
They sent a tape.
Martin.
They sent a tape
The
to her.
CIA
Same
did.
thing. They
CIA.
called, your husband is fucking these hoes out here. Click. I mean, come on.
Well, she had to know that he probably had some infidelities. Put it that way. He's an entertainer and a man of great power.
My question is for you guys: does Bill Cosby lose your respect as like a household entertainment like hero? Basically, a lot of people looked at Bill Cosby as one of their own dads watching the Cosby Show, man.
I never thought about him as my dad, but
Do you lose respect?
But
for
as a
him?
hero,
well, for what he did, no. But for being the pill that he is, that's what he is. He's a pill.
He doesn't lose anything. I don't know why
still have respect for him.
I don't know why Bounce TV took him off. They're not pulling any of the Harvey Weinstein films off.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
They ain't got to pay them. They paying him.
Wait a minute now. When Bill Cosby got caught up the first time, Bounce TV and all the other networks automatically yanked him off. No one's pulling off any Harvey Weinstein. I just saw a Harvey Weinstein film the other day, and they're still on. They're not yanking that out.
He's back on.
No. They pulled it. They pulled it off
that network. But he's on Centric now, right?
No. They're pulling all of it.
All right, he'll be back. Don't worry, man. Cosby was good for the world.
I mean, what I'm saying is they're pulling it just because he was found guilty. They're not going to pull Harvey Weinstein.
Just a minute.
Anything.
It's just a minute. They'll be on the back on.
Yeah, I think the really big
he's
deal
like OJ.
is.
OJ was a great football player. I respect his footballness. Everything else,
Yeah, and it's a big deal because he's one of the first to get prosecuted in this Me Too era, right?
Which is what is that? Come on, don't get me wrong.
Me Too era. The girls were coming out the courtroom crying, so happy. Oh, justice. You think he's gonna bounce back though? You think it's
no, he's 80 years old. But my question, and I don't mean to sound sexist, we tried to invite some ladies, but they didn't want to recall back. Put it that way, respond in time or whatever. Now we're doing this podcast. We would love to have women's input.
For real,
we'll do a follow-up.
I really didn't want to have a woman's input. I'm gonna keep it really real. With you.
Whoa.
I'm gonna keep it real with you now. Listen,
the views expressed.
Women have a way of changing their mind. They have a way of changing their mind, just like that. Just like CeeMo clicked, just like that. They have a way of changing their mind. I personally do not believe that Bill Cosby drugged these people, and then a couple of them said the second and third date, and you're getting drugged again. It seems like you wouldn't have gone back. You were with it. It looks like it was something it was consensual, something that you wanted.
Whoa.
They wanted those pills and automobiles.
Whoa.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Women will change their mind.
So what does that mean?
And none of these women have worked for any of the money in the civil suits
I know what
coming
you're
up.
saying.
They have not worked for any of the money. So I hope that they appreciate and use the money wisely. But I feel easy come, easy go. They won't even know where that money went to. Once the civil lawsuits come down, they start getting awarded. They will not know where that money went to in a couple of years. So I'm happy that they're destroying a legacy.
Yeah, man.
You're on your own now.
So basically, you're saying.
Go ahead.
I want to tell the people like what I think you're saying. Like you're saying that they consensually went on the dates, took the drugs. And knowing that they're passing out from being so high and drunk, whatever the case, and then by they found out that they had got touched on the 3rd or 4th date, and then years later, now they want to jump on the bandwagon to take him down and make a little bit of profit. That's what you're saying?
No,
Because you said the money's going to come and go, and they're
what I'm saying, the money is going to come and go. What I'm saying is, they went into the room, just like it was a woman who gave this perspective, and in a way, we should have had that young lady up here today. But she said that women talk in the industry, and they know what men are into. They would know what Bill Cosby was into, so the women will be going in there with their eyes open to go do it. Look, I dealt with women as far as photography is concerned, and I'll tell you, it's as long as I have my release forms, I'm all good. But I can tell you that people will change their minds if they get a boyfriend.
Oh,
It
yeah.
will change their mind.
Oh, yeah.
If all of a sudden their family sees it and they're not strong enough or didn't realize that this was actually gonna be out, they will, if their family see all of a sudden, they'll come back, well, I didn't want to do that. You changed your mind. You changed your mind. Women will change their mind. And I thought myself, dealing with women, as long as I'm not touching you and I'm not doing this, but I'm doing something that's going to leave a legacy behind of artisticness, that we wouldn't have this problem. If I wouldn't touch you, but come to find out, it was the same problem. A woman will feel scorned if you don't try to talk to them, if you don't try to touch them. Women will feel scorned if you touch them and the agreement doesn't go through with what you had. If they thought they were going to get somewhere, get on video or something, they will feel scorned. So there's nothing. See me, after we get past Jesus in the Bible, I look at Proverbs 9:1-18. It talks about Madam Wisdom and Madam Folly, and it has never steered me wrong. As Solomon has never steered me wrong with Proverbs 9:1-18, Madam Wisdom and Madam Folly. Y'all read that, you'll read about the trap house. You'll read about two different types of women.
In the trap house.
Right there, you will read about the trap house right there in the Bible, something that's written 2,000 years ago. So honestly, women will change their mind. And I have something that that I tell my wife all the time that we won't say here, but I'll say it off the air. But women, for the most part, the Bible teaches you. After I leave Proverbs 9:1-18, I go straight to Judges, and I go straight to
You up all in it now.
I go straight to Samson and Dalila. The Bible, all throughout the Bible, it tells you.
Oh boy.
It says, don't turn around and look at Sodom and Gomorrah, or something bad's gonna happen to you. You turn around, you turn to a pillar of salt. The next thing you know, Lot's daughters had to get them drunk so they could keep the line going and have sex with their own father. This is some real shit that's going on with Bill Cosby. And how long are you gonna keep on being Samson?
Yeah.
Getting your locks cut by Dalila. Any male who wears long hair or potentially wears long hair should read Samson and Dalila and heed those stories and read Proverbs 9:1-18 and quit messing with these women. Quit messing with them. That's what I say. I mean, so that's my plan. But I say live and let live. But that's my dogma. I don't hug women. I don't do none of that. We do high five. Y'all see me? I do high five. I have no time.
Especially white girls.
We went to a bowling
not
party.
touch white girls.
We went to a bowling party one time, and I thought the high five was good. The girl come up and then I put my hand up, and then somehow she rubbing her hand around my high five. I'm like, that shit don't even work. So miss me with this bullshit. Miss me with this bullshit.
At least
I'm
he's a
pissed
loyal one.
because
At least he's a loyal
any
one.
female that has a young son should really be schooling their sons up on this, because if it can happen to Bill, if it can happen to all these other men, just think what's going to happen in the future with men who have power and who have money.
Well, I gotta. Oh, wait.
That's more so.
Man.
What's doing?
Really? We got
see how heavy that gets?
passionate.
But
that gets.
that's all the more reason to have someone who could say what you felt on the opposing side. I can only try to address a few things. Him being good-natured and helping them or promising to help them with their careers, and then having 3 or 4 dates is part of the MO of a perpetrator. The MO, if you will, to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel that he appreciates them in their career. It's all part of the MO of the setup of the pill popping dude. So I wouldn't hold it against him having gone out with him a few times. It was probably nice places, nice things to do. You know what I mean? And he was probably all setting it up. You know how they do. They say, you know how men always say they set you up.
I don't know how men.
Well, I would say that's the setup. You take them out to meet the representative. There you go. Exactly.
Okay, now
you got a headache. Oh, here. There you go. But also at the same time, even if it was that women change their mind, having a sister and knowing a lot of reasonable women, no is no. And if you can't make your own decision, for whatever reason, due to incapacitation, you can't breathe, you can't see, you can't write, whatever it is that they would determine incapacitated them, unbeknownst to them, that's a violation, man. Because here goes the joke I was going to ask y'all. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? You're walking down the street, minding your business. You see your friend. Boom! You get hit on the head. You wake up, you're in the forest, your pants are around your ankles, and your asshole hurts.
Wait. You say you see a friend and then I get hit in the head. I see my friend, but I get hit in the head out of nowhere.
Boom. You wake up in the forest, your pants around your ankles, and your asshole hurts. Would you tell anybody? Or would you just go home?
Shit, man, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's crazy. I would tell somebody. I'll tell somebody. I'll get down to justice.
Absolutely.
It's my turn for the Me Too movement.
I'll be like, I saw somebody I thought I knew, and if they a friend of mine, they gonna tell what they saw. Absolutely.
Check
what would you do, Franklyn?
Now you see, the average man will say no.
No, hell no.
But then you know what he says when he says no? Say you want to go camping? That was the earlier joke with the camera. Y'all missed the off-camera setup, but that's the ticket. The average man says no. I'm going to go put my pants up and go home.
So let's be clear. I do not believe. I don't care what verdict came down. I do not believe that Bill Cosby did that.
60-some people, man. Come on.
I believe that it was a consensual situation.
Maybe 1 or 2, but not those people who felt violated. And like I just asked you guys have said, if you felt violated, you would say something.
They feel violated because the quid pro quo did not happen.
For whatever reason, though.
But they said they were cool with it if they had got on the TV
right,
show.
But it goes back to the question. Hey,
but
would you suck dick to be a star? You know what I mean?
Okay,
whatever it is. Would you do whatever the casting couch? Same thing as Weinstein. So are those people also who unfortunately had to suffer whatever it is he did that was wrong to get their role or to do whatever it is? Aren't they lacking of judgment and character and moral because they sustained themselves? They had a decision to make. Play with the 3-piece orchestra. You know what that is, right?
You don't have to go into it. We got it last week.
All right, so that's it's a 3-piece orchestra. If you want to play with the 3-piece orchestra and get your role, or do you just want to play the 3-piece orchestra and get nothing? So you're mad because you played with the 3-piece orchestra, you didn't get your solo.
Exactly right. They would have been cool playing with the 3-piece orchestra and everything else that he did if they had gotten the role.
So they were lacking morals.
Now, in my opinion, there are some has-been broke bitches.
What I just said.
That need to get a payday, and they see this man who has money, and they want to go after it. So it's still disingenuous assness, not just disingenuous, but disingenuous assness, because like the woman said to me earlier, her opinion, you know, when with the men in the industry, they know, like people know my reputation. They just say, okay, you know what, Crazy D ain't down with that. You know, he don't even hug women, so he's gonna be smacked. You got to come with business. Don't come with that. They know what the person's MO is when they step to them. So it is about not getting the return on what they gave
and feeling violated.
So then, they really didn't have any talent. So like I said before,
can't say
I
that.
hope
That's a wide range.
if they had talent, somebody else would have picked them up, right?
Maybe not.
There's a lot of talented people, but maybe they don't have the talent to make it.
Some of those people did get some kind of recognition, but at the same time, I can't believe in 62 or even 52 or 42 or 22 same circumstance occurrences.
Yeah.
If you fall down, you're not gonna fall down.
Did you hear the new news that 2 women came out on Tom Brokaw and said that? I mean, Tom Brokaw, the greatest. Not him. No, I say no. He did the documentary on the greatest generation of all time. Talking about World War II people, right? All that's gonna pull because these women say something because they didn't get what they thought they would get. Maybe you weren't good enough. Can we just say that? Maybe you weren't. For those men who choose to go out there and have the casting couch, maybe they just weren't good enough.
No. They were violated. They felt violated. They went to court about it. And even though they stacked the odds against them by allowing other testimony of other people, showing the similarity of their circumstances, what he did was wrong. Wrong is wrong. If it took a long time to get him, wrong is wrong. And
They changed the laws on them, right?
They
changed the laws. So is that right or wrong?
Well, I don't know if he changed the law. The judge allowed some admissions
They allowed
in the
things
second
from
case.
other places that
Right.
didn't even have anything to do with this.
Well,
case.
they obviously did because they rendered a verdict. So, don't get me wrong. Still wrong at the end. It's like you said, it's integrity in a lot of parts. His lack of it, their lack of it, it all came together. Unfortunately, now we have to figure out what the crisis is to move forward with this man. Because he did a lot of good work. And no man is above making mistakes. And unfortunately, his mistakes were of a sexual nature that violated some other individuals. If it was 1, maybe 2, the numbers that came out were astounding. I didn't know Bill could put it down like that. I thought I was a player.
Well, Wilt Chamberlain in his lifetime had
I don't
what?
believe that. Come on. He'd have to
How
have
many?
a woman
How many did he have?
20,000,
So,
10,000?
yeah. I thought it was 30,000.
Oh, yeah, too much.
But
That's
I'm just saying. So it's possible, right?
No.
It's not. It's not possible.
You mad? We're both married. I don't know about you. I just got married. And I've had a beautiful life. I've had many friends.
I understand what you mean, Crazy D, by women changing their minds, especially being in the entertainment industry. You're a photographer, man. You see the opportunities that come and the women change their minds, or like you guys have agreements that don't go out the exact way that it happens. And at the end of the day, too, women, I really hope that women in the near future or even today aren't just doing this bandwagon strategy to come after men. I hope Me Too is not like a master plan just to
Only if you
use,
make the mistake.
Yeah, just to use what they have to come down and reign up and just gang up on us. At the same time, that being said, I think molestation is disgusting, man. I don't know how guys get off on she's
incapacitated.
Yeah,
How do
she's
they
asleep.
respond?
Let me touch her. Man, she dry, man. What you doing, man? And it's like also at the same time the higher ups who love to be a predator on new actresses and things like that.
Right.
Do the cats,
no, that is
thing.
totally foul. But when a person has a reputation, the reputation. Are you gonna go in there and do something? Here's a person that's
what I'm saying about these girls.
You're gonna
bandwagon the trial and the Me Too movement. It was girl after girl. 27 women ended up coming out. It was girl after girl after girl.
5. They're going to allow 5 that they didn't allow before.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
He did it, man. It's perv, man. Perv pudding.
Yeah, and at the same time it's scary.
In jail.
Be careful with these women, and it's scary, man. They have more power than us. They have all the power.
When you violate the power, that's why we got to get a woman in here.
They have more power than us. They've always had more power than us because they're figuring it out. They figured it out. But what I'm saying is, when this switches over and women become in leadership roles,
they are.
Let's hope that they don't turn around and do. Because I've known quite a few women who are in leadership and they're touchy, feely. They want to hug all the time. Like, why we gotta hug? Why you gotta touch me? Oh, well then why don't you keep your hands to yourself, dog? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna be any better the other way than it is this way, and that's what I say. I don't listen. For the most part, a woman has to show me a lot for me to even trust them.
True that.
That's the truth.
Watch out.
That's the
True.
truth.
We got a
that.
convert over there, Bill.
Are you more than just a pretty face, shawty? You got a work ethic.
You gotta be
Uh-huh.
truthful. You gotta be honest.
Bill.
You can't be changing up your words. I've had deals with dealing with women in business, and then they will change. They'll say, "I'm gonna make it," and then they'll say, "Well, I can't make it now," and no excuse.
Yeah,
no reason why.
Yeah.
But
So-
this is different. We're talking about, I believe.
It all wraps around the same thing.
I believe that they
Women's
were violated.
prerogative
Hell
to
yeah.
change
There
my.
was
I
a
don't believe it.
violation.
I don't believe it.
You wanna
and I
talk
would
about
tell,
this, ladies?
like I tell my nephew, I say, keep your hands to yourself.
Uh-oh.
Don't be doing no hugging. If they want to hug, tell them what you want to hug me for. Now, if I start hugging you, then you'll say, why you hugging me so much? Just keep your hands to yourself. Everybody keep their hands to yourself. It's just like your associate. What's her name from New York? The attorney.
Miss Griselle Howard.
That's right.
The best.
She said that there's a certain energy between men and women that she doesn't want to be lost in all this Me Too and all that. Well, guess what? That's going to be lost because keep your hands to yourself. Y'all want to be asexuals. We just saw the new Janelle Monáe piece come out where we had transsexuals and all that shit. You can't even enjoy the piece because you don't know who was the transsexual and who was the real woman. Is this what women want?
We just went Empire,
They
y'all.
just want us to have sperm donors, just be sperm donors. Well, then, if you want it like that, just remember that. Just remember these days that are happening right now. I don't trust them. Keep your hands to yourself. We do high five. That's it. No hugs. None of that. This is real business. This is real talk. This is all business this way. Because I'm not getting hemmed up. They say that last thing before we close out, Dick Gregory said that any successful black man, they're not going to let you get off this earth being clean. If you're successful and you have money, they're going to find a way to take your money from you. I'm surprised they haven't tried to get Harry Belafonte yet.
Well, we've had a lot covered today.
Crazy.
Standing with the Cosby factor. So I'm telling you, ladies, after you see this, you want to get a piece of.
Oh, look, they're calling already. They said, we
You
don't
get a
agree
piece
with
of
this.
this.
Yeah.
Because
Look, they
CeeMo.
said, you don't agree? You don't agree. Okay.
Well, that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna end this one because it's sad what happened. It's been a bad week for black people. We didn't get to some other stuff. We're gonna try to do another
Someone's
one.
calling you too.
Oh, I'm getting a call too. So it's already out there, y'all.
Yeah.
The bottom line is check out what you could do on Cox Cable. We explained it to you. He'll explain it to you again. They can bring up our podcast.
Yep.
CeeMo's in the place to be.
Yes,
Crazy
sir.
D standing with Pill Cosby.
I'm not standing with you. I say read Proverbs 9:1-18 and read Samson and Dalila and stay away from those crafty women. Find you one woman that you can deal with that is trustworthy and forget the rest. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, let's continue this dialogue too. Leave the comments.
Yeah,
in
leave
the
the comments.
section. I definitely want to hear what people have to say about this.
Hey.
Hit that like button, or if you didn't like anybody's opinion, hit that dislike button. But we don't care. We ain't
There's no
tripping.
dislike button.
But we do care, but we want to know. And
Yeah.
ladies, if you want to get in, we got a seat for you right next to
That's
Pill.
right. It's gonna cost. This seat gonna cost
Also, too, when
for you to
the,
come in. It's not free.
when
So
the
we're gonna
ladies
tell
come,
you it's not free. When the ladies come, what happens?
we gotta follow up on this. When ladies come, this is something that just popped in my head right now.
Okay.
Can men create a Me Too movement against the women who waste our time and violate us in ways? Women violate us in ways, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later on next time when a woman comes. I definitely want to get into that.
We just
When
went
a-
Michael Bay's.
Oh,
When a man's fed up.
nothing but the facts.
Nothing but the facts.
It ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing but the facts.
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.